Welcome to In the Rough. Now, before we get started, y'all already know I'm coming with them criticisms. It is officially July. That means we have reached the halfway point of 2019, which means in about 6 more months, we have the presidential election going on. So, let's talk politics. 2 weeks ago, we just had our first round of Democratic debates. So who shined? Who didn't? Who needs to go on home? And who logically has a chance of taking down Donald Trump? Additionally to that, we're going to be discussing some issues that are important to black people. Can black people be racist? Or are we just prejudiced? Additionally, my black fellas out there, do we have privilege? Do we really get away with certain stuff that a lot of people in the black community don't? We're going to discuss all those things on In the Rough today. And we're also going to make sure we give a special tribute to the king of pop, Michael Jackson. In case you ain't know, it's been 10 years since his death, and I think he deserves it. So, like I always say, if you don't like what's going to be said on this podcast, might as well turn your computer screen off. Welcome to In the Rough. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of the In the Rough podcast. Y'all already know who I am. My name is Wolfgang.
Trayvon. And it's me, Mr. Smith, Omari. Haha, what up?
So guys, we got a lot of interesting topics for y'all today. We kind of changed how we're going to do things here in the Rough. We're going to make sure we make separate videos so y'all can see particular subjects if y'all don't want to watch the full episode and whatnot. But before we get into the topics, I gotta do my regular thing. How's everybody's week, man? You already know. What's up?
Trayvon, what's wrong with you, man?
It's been alright. Everything been cool. Same old.
Same old. I feel that my week's been kind of about the same. Work, church, home.
Dang, I'm bored.
Man, that's how adult life is. Right. Adult life ain't a fun life all the time.
Man. Well, you know me, I've just been working and whatnot. 9 days till we go to Detroit.
This is true.
Vacation time, you feel what I'm saying? Hey, we gonna make a special episode for the Detroit trip. Y'all gonna see us, it's gonna be a great episode, so make sure y'all tune in for that. But
we're gonna be in rare form. I'm just gonna let you know.
Oh yeah, we finna be in rare form. Listen, if y'all know us, y'all know we run around, we do a lot, we do everything, so y'all know we deserve this vacation. And y'all know we finna take this vacation. And we going to Detroit. So it's gonna be lit. It's gonna be a great time. Chase is gonna be coming with us, so you'll see Chase again and whatnot. Unfortunately, Trayvon won't be there, but
got responsibilities. But it's all good.
I'm not even gonna get into that. But other than that, like I told y'all, we're doing a little bit revamping with In the Rough to try to make it better for our viewers out there. So one thing we wanted to add into In the Rough is during the introductions, after we introduce ourselves, we're gonna put in another section for In the Rough called Let's Talk Twitter. You're probably wondering what that's called. So, in case you have a Twitter account, every day there tends to be something talking about on Twitter and whatnot, and it just seems that everybody has the educated, most intelligent, decision as far as a specific topic on Twitter. So, we gonna bring up some certain topics on Twitter that, came across our eye, since we've last been here, and we just gonna talk about it and see how we feel about it. And we gonna bring it into the real world and make it more realistic, because we all know that people on Twitter be capping, but we still gonna talk about it. So let's get into it. I welcome y'all to Let's Talk Twitter. All right, guys, what have y'all seen on Twitter this week that has perturbed or y'all noticed or has made y'all happy? It could be anything, really.
I can speak on something that's kind of perturbed a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Dumb Starbucks.
Dumb Starbucks. You want to give them a little background on that?
Yes. So, there was a Starbucks. These police officers, I believe there's about 5 of them. They go in, normal day, dressed in uniform, armed, whatnot, get some coffee, normal people stuff. but some customers didn't feel comfortable with their presence there. In the world we live in, to me, that's understandable. But they asked the barista, the person making all the coffee and whatnot. It's like, hey, we kind of feel uncomfortable. Something can be done about it. And they went, that barista went and told the police officers, like, hey, you got some customers who they aren't really comfortable with y'all being here. And he asked them, would you mind either leaving or just getting out their line of sight?
Mm-hmm.
And they left. I didn't hear anything about any altercation or anything like that. But the police officers left. But afterwards, the police agency went to Starbucks. Is like, hey, these are veterans. Some of these guys who were kicked out were veterans. There really should be no reason for it, and they pretty much reinstantiated the whole dump Starbucks initiative. It's like, hey, forget Starbucks, toss out the drain. They doing ethically off or morally off-putting putting stuff. So then, of course, Twitter takes to it. And you've got the side that's like, oh, well, I feel perfectly safe, with police officers there protecting the store, protecting me. I feel perfectly safe there. But on the other side, the one I'm more sympathized with, I completely understand. I completely understand why you'd be uncomfortable. With the world that we live in, I understand.
I mean, if you want me to be real, I mean, the fact that we're 3 black men should be understood why we have the feelings on the police. We should. Now, granted, in some situations, it's not acceptable because I do believe there are some good cops out there. I truly do believe that. But, I think we all know how we feel as 3 black men growing up in America, how we feel when we come in the presence of a cop. For the first time, after we get to know that cop, it might change depending on how that cop is. But like,
our first meeting?
It's kind of like that situation like when we driving and we get pulled over, we kind of like, oh
yeah,
dang,
it's really
really something like that.
Chance, just about. That's really what it feels like. It's like, okay, I'm gonna look out and get like an okay cop who's just gonna rob me a ticket and send me about my way, or I'm gonna get one who's got some, repressed sentiments about me for no reason, and next thing I know, I'm in cuffs or laying on the street and then just left there.
All right.
We see, especially, we always see stuff where the police, either there's violence or someone gets killed and then just the body itself is just mistreated. Ideally, if someone gets shot and killed, take care of the body.
Right.
That's common sense. But if you're just gonna leave it there as a spectacle, I'm off about that.
Right.
So like, and I'm looking on Twitter and seeing about it, I'm thinking this is like, okay, but I'm looking, it's like, all right, I'm not seeing too many people of color saying, oh yeah, I feel safer about it. Everyone who said, oh yeah, I feel perfectly safe about it was Caucasian. It's like, okay, I mean, like, yeah, you'd feel safe. You would most certainly feel safe. I completely agree. But that's you. Because your skin color gives you that kind of privilege.
All right.
I kind of piggyback off of that, because I read about that too, and I saw how there are certain people on Twitter, they would comment saying that, the same people who say that they felt safe with the police, they're the same people. They really didn't say anything. When those 2 African Americans and I don't think it was New York, it might have been somewhere up northeast, they were sitting in a Starbucks waiting for somebody, and they were kicked out just for sitting there.
Yeah,
they were there. Actually, they weren't even kicked out. They were the police were they were asked to leave. They said no. The police showed up. They ended up coming and then arresting them. So I was like, that I could definitely understand that point of view. Like these people that saying that it wasn't right for the police to be asked to leave. And I think it happened on 4th of July, and they were some of them were veterans, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, but where were y'all when this was going on with 2 black guys that were trying to meet up with somebody for a conference, but then they were asked to leave for no reason. They were asked, but then the police ended up showing up and arresting them. So.
Little point of information, it was in Philadelphia.
It was Philadelphia. Okay,
yeah.
All right. I didn't know it was in New York or Pennsylvania, but so it was in Philadelphia, and that incident occurred. So it made me think like y'all. There's a lot of like one side in this kind of situation. And then 2, I also think about the same incident that occurred in Arizona not too long ago when the officers were, or one officer at least, was had a gun pointed and pretty much threatened the lives of a woman and her kids, and I guess her husband or a boyfriend, and when they were leaving a store. It was in the parking lot. So I mean, I can understand why people feel unsafe with the police around, especially if it's in a state like Arizona, because of especially with the recent recent situations that have come about with between police and civilians, specifically African Americans. So you really can't get mad at people saying that they don't feel comfortable with the police there. That's the same. It's the same thing as saying it's the same situation where these common folks were uncomfortable because they were on there because there were two black guys just sitting there minding their own business. Mm-hmm. So I don't really have much sympathy for those who are in favor of the police. I mean, I'm sorry it came to that. I mean, I'm sure the police, they were just trying to go in there and get some coffee. I mean, it's 4th of July. They were just trying to get a drink and maybe sit down and just talk amongst themselves. I'm sorry it came to that, but then hopefully y'all realize this is the kind of situation that people of color have to go through very, very so often in public places.
Yeah. Right. And that's really kind of where like my perturbance came from with that. It's like, they're just like you said, it's that double-sided coin. Mm-hmm. It's like on one side, it's like, okay, well, yeah, as a whole, I think it's pretty safe to say that the country's kind of pandered towards one race over another. Mm-hmm. But it's as if, it just further like cements like that other race is just like, I won't say forgotten, but almost like trying to put a rug over a dirty floor.
Right.
So it's like, okay, y'all, it's like, yeah, y'all need to understand this because like, okay, well, what are we gonna do? It's easy to say, yeah, police officers come in, I feel safe. Just like you said, I feel safe, cool. But he's gonna protect you and view you differently than someone else doing the exact same thing who doesn't look like you. And that's where my take on it is like, don't forget us, but stop hiding it like this doesn't happen.
I feel that.
I guess.
Well, I guess my take on it is I guess I would be speaking more of like from a business mindset about it. I mean, cause y'all pretty much said, aside from a non-business standpoint, how the situation is. But we in a place of business, so like I kind of think on that factor too. And I mean, honestly, like I'm not mad at Starbucks because they did what was right for business in a sense to me, like you got fighting out. I don't know them cops. I don't know what they have done. Some of them are veterans. Shout out to them. I'm sorry that you had to go through this, boss, but you went into a place of business. A lot of the consumers weren't messing with your presence. So in order for that Starbucks to continue making that money, you had to go. And that's just how it is. And I really tried, bro. I tell y'all all the time, bro, when it comes to business stuff, I don't want to hear like the whole friendship thing goes out the window. Like all that goes out the window because we talking about business. Ain't no friendship in business. I think that's an unspoken rule. Actually, it's not even an unspoken. It's a spoken rule that everybody should know. When it comes to business decisions, like, bruh, it's nothing personal. It's a business decision. It's the same exact situation when somebody owes you money and you trying to get that money back, and they feel some type of way because you asking for your money back. I'm like, no, bruh. Like, I'm not coming at you because you my dude. Like, I'm coming at you because we made a business loan. I loaned you $10. It's time for you to pay it back. That's the definition of a loan. So like So for me personally, it's like, man, if y'all look at it from a business mind point, it makes perfect sense why them cops got kicked out of Starbucks. Because you all know if that what you call it, the barista or whatever,
the barista, yeah,
the barista. Because we all know if the barista ain't going to tell them cops that, people probably would have started walking out that Starbucks.
No, they would have. And you can look at it this way too on that same business idea. You go to any fast food chain or any restaurant chain, or anything where you have like to serve customers, like your business is customer service. That saying the customer is always right, as much as we agree that that's not true for a business, that is the truest statement.
Like no, like from a individual mindset, the customer is always right is not true at all.
No.
I would even agree thinking from an individual mindset, but from a business standpoint, it's true. Sorry to tell you, it's true because like it's supply and demand. You got to have a demand for something if you want to make money. If there ain't no demand, for no Starbucks, ain't gonna be no Starbucks, and that's just the end of the day. And in order for Starbucks to keep that demand, they have to tell 5 officers to get out.
Yep.
Well,
coming at it from a customer complaint.
Huh?
Because they coming at it from a customer complaint.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like the customers are telling them like, hey, we not really rocking with the fact that these cops are up in here. The customers are saying that. Your demand is saying that. So what you probably gonna do what your demand says. That's just how it is. You know. Side note, white people been mad the past 2 weeks. Like the Starbucks situation, they've been pissed off about. Then I'm sure y'all heard about the Colin Kaepernick getting that shoe revoked for the the Betsy Ross 4th of July shoe. He got that revoked. Yep. People were mad about that. And then we had the fact that Ariel now black. Now he's like, hey, I'm gonna keep it a bid. Like that's like 3 instances of white people getting like pissed off in like the span of like 2 weeks. But that Little Mermaid one, that's probably what took the cake right there because they still going off about it. I mean,
this is Disney we're talking about.
Exactly. Right. You know what's crazy? It's like with all 3 of those situations, I see them the same as I just described the Starbucks situation. It's a business decision, my guy. It's nothing personal. It's a business decision.
Yep.
Like with Nike, you have Colin Kaepernick as one of your spokespeople, and y'all know that man was just he was literally kneeling while y'all were doing the national anthem, and y'all trying to put out a shoe. With mind you, it's not the current United States flag. It's the flag with the 13 colonies, and we all know under them colonies, America still has slaves.
Yep.
So, and Colin Kaepernick is one of y'all's biggest spokesperson. Probably wasn't finna rock with that. And as he seen, like, he wasn't really rocking with that, so he asked y'all to take it back off the shelves. And what did Nike do? They took it off the shelves because they realized if they didn't do what Colin Kaepernick said, they were going to lose out on a whole lot more money if they did do what he said. Like, what's crazy to me is that people don't be thinking businesses be like sitting there making like these statistics about what could happen. Like, what happens if I make this decision? What happens if I make this decision before they even put the decision out there?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure with Nike, they were like, you know what? When Colin came to them and was like, I would like it if y'all take that shoe off the racks. I'm 100% certain Nike sat down at their little board of directors table, meeting table, whatever you want to call it, and we're like, okay, based on our consumers, what's the percentage of money that could be made and money lost if we keep the shoe on the shelf versus the money that could be made and money lost if we take it off? Obviously, this one outweighed this one, so they went with this choice because it made them the most money. That's just simple business, cuz.
Yep. The plea on Little Mermaid is just the same, there's maybe further evidence of that because on that point, it's a topic about diversity.
Right.
And we know with businesses across the board, you increase your diversity, you increase not only your efficiency of the business, you increase the quality of your product, you increase your sales, you also increase your views and ratings.
Yeah.
You really increase every aspect of your business by just simply diversifying it.
Yeah.
And that's through thought, mind, thought, race, age, etc. Right? Little Mermaid, this is entertainment. It's art.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, diversifying it, you're appealing to not just one kind of people, you're appealing to all people.
Mm.
So introduce all people. But in the same light, you're able to now tell the same story a number of different ways by just simply changing who all's represented.
Yeah.
That gives the authors creative freedom. That gives the story a new look and outtake. And depending on how they spin it, it could even possibly be better than the original. That's actually for that. I think we've talked about it a little bit. That's actually for that. Why, like with the whole new Mulan, Mulan movie that's coming out, and they've been talking about taking out Mushu.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm not like, okay, I'm just not gonna watch that. Granted, I did watch the trailer, I have a different opinion about it, but in regards to Mushu, it's like, okay, they took out Eddie Murphy, but they're introducing another guide, possibly in some like another animal, something like that. So this Mulan, like especially from the trailer, it's not gonna be the same Mulan because Mulan's out here fighting folk in the army.
Right.
Whereas in the movie, we didn't see Mulan start fighting folk until she fought Shao Kahn or whatever his name is.
This man said Shao Kahn, cuz.
You know who I'm talking about.
I was not gonna let that slide by.
The Hun. Until the Hun.
Yes.
Thank you.
The Hun.
Excuse me, viewers.
I thought you were trying to say Shere Khan, like the tiger from the Jungle Book.
Man said Shao Kahn.
Y'all know who I'm talking about. Anyway.
Mortal Kombat.
Wow. Mulan didn't face dude until the end of the movie.
Right.
That was really like the one big fight she was in. When she was in the army at the snow, she ran.
Mm-hmm.
She got on the horse, hid behind the rock, avalanche came, poof, that's done.
Right.
She trained, went off, did her thing, and then end the movie.
Right.
As to where now we're seeing like, okay, Mulan's gonna be like, she's like battle warrior princess.
Right.
She come out with the sword. She practicing at home.
Right.
I don't know the take they're gonna do on exactly, but it's a new Mulan,
Right.
and that's like okay.
Now I will say as far as Mulan, I was very vocal how I wasn't really rocking with the fact how Mushu wasn't finna be in there. Like that's my dog from the animated film, bro. We all know Mushu was there, bro. That's my homie, bro. However, I was reading up on it, and they said that a reason why they made a lot of the changes was because to respect Chinese culture and heritage and whatnot. So with that in mind, I'm not gonna say too much on it. I'm just gonna be like, you know what? Y'all have to, y'all making a live action movie from Mulan, and y'all are in this time around, y'all are honoring like the Chinese like culture and customs and stuff like that within the film. So I'm not tripping off it no more. I'm with that in mind, I'm cool with the whole fact that some of the songs are not going to be them, even though I'll Make You a Man song is fire. I'm sorry.
It is.
It's fire, period. But in Mushu, we ain't gonna cap like that man ain't the like the key element character in the element.
He brought that comedic relief.
Like that's what, but like I said, I'm putting my personal reservation aside because they are respecting the cultures of like a greater like group of people, and I respect Disney for doing that because we all know Disney back in the day wasn't on that train. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that goes back to the whole topic of diversity.
Yeah.
Diversifying a business as a business decision.
Yeah. So I will say, I'm sorry, Disney. Coming at y'all about no Mushu. It's cool though. It's cool.
It's on your cow. It's on your family.
Lion King's still coming, so I'm pretty turned for that. So
speaking of Disney, so another thing that popped up on Twitter was the hashtag Disneyland fight.
Oh boy.
Now, when I saw this, I was hoping, like a lot of black people would think the same thing. I was hoping, like, please don't let it be black people. Please don't let it be black people involved in this. I opened the video. Sure enough, 2 groups of black people. I'm like, man, y'all. But we see black people fight on video, unfortunately, all the time. Now, but of all places. Why Disneyland? Why everywhere? Of all places, why Disneyland? Because there was one post on Twitter. This dude had posted talk about sees Disneyland fight trending, and then he says in like an asterisk in my mind, please don't let it be black people. Opens the video, sees black people, and he was like, he posted the meme of Denzel Washington when he was playing Malcolm X. Sitting on the desk and slamming the table, and I was like, "Yep, that was definitely me." I'm like,
do you know what they're fighting over?
Probably
well, it was. I don't know.
Probably something stupid. I don't see what you get into. What could possibly cause you to have a fight that bad at Disneyland? I'm sorry.
It doesn't. I don't think it's been made public about what it was about. What I read was that it was pretty much where one guy is just. He's fighting some woman, and then another guy that was with this opposing woman came in to fight the guy back. Family members come in and trying to break it up. The mother, in the previous video, she was in a wheelchair, a stroller. And then in the video that you see now, she was off the wheelchair trying to help break up the fight. And this, I guess somebody in the other family was had hit her or pushed her, and she fell to the ground.
Who's the lady in the black and white dress?
Yes, she was the big,
Okay.
the larger woman. She was on. She had fell down to the ground. That was the mother. It was the mother of the guy in red shirt that's pretty much fighting just about everybody on the opposite family.
Well, shoot, they both were fighting just about everybody, really.
So it just got out of hand. You got people just spectating. You know, we have people that try to come in and help, try to dissolve the situation. But you see, the moment it stops, the fight picks up again because something else happens. And it took, I don't know how long it took for the security to get there, but it was a good little minute before security came and broke it up. A janitor was there before security showed up to break up the whole fight.
I felt so bad about that janitor because he was just sitting there, just like, I don't know what to do. I've just got my brooms and my dustpans right here. I'm like, everybody, calm down. Oh God.
And then because when you see the video, you look at the comment section, you see all these, see all the black viewers like, man, why is this happening to us? Like, why is this going on? Like, everyone's hoping you see, like, when you see anything, like, it's funny how when you see something that says hashtag and the word fight pops up, it's funny how you internally think, okay, please don't let it be black people. Please don't let it be black people. Because over time, it's just been like over social media. What's the main group of people you'll see fighting?
Us.
Okay, then. It's kind of sad. It hurts when you realize that, okay, when you see fight, the first thing you think of, or the first group of people you think of, are black people.
Right.
And lo and behold, it was black people that were fighting in Disneyland.
Making a spectacle.
Yes, making a spectacle in front of a bunch of people and kids. Like, this is a place where people try to come and have fun. It's already expensive. So people, they ain't trying to be in that drama. They just want to go in and have fun. You know, see all these Disney characters they grew up watching and so on and so forth. Just have fun with the rides and just have a good time. But then lo and behold, you have these families, you know, just fighting it out, and the families had kids with them too.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that kind of made it worse.
That was honestly my biggest thing with the whole fight, was that, like, you see the young, like, the little kids of the family walking around just crying, looking at it, and I'm just like, man, y'all acting this way in front of y'all's children. And it's like, they seeing this and they taking note. Oh, they taking note.
It's crazy,
Man, I know I was talking to someone about that whole Disneyland fight, or I was scrolling on Twitter about it too, and one of the things that was said was, so, like, for me personally, I don't know about y'all, but whenever my own people are in situations like that, I'm not gonna cap with y'all, I view it worse. I view it much worse. Like, so for example, like, when I was scrolling on Twitter and whatnot, you know, people were kind of like commenting on the whole Disneyland fight, and one of the comments that I came to was like, well, we all know like white people get the scrapping and whatnot, because there was just like a video on Twitter about white folks like scrapping and whatnot at a baseball game and whatnot, and you know, like, you know, people reference that, you know, to kind of try to downplay the fact that, you know, black folks got to fight at Disneyland. And one, I was gonna say this for our later topics to say, but, you know, I'm gonna say it now and then I'm gonna repeat it later when we get to a certain topic. But black folks have a knack of bringing up what white people do to try to downplay the stuff we do. And I'm sorry, like, that
Doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you still got two independent situations that are both equally bad.
Yeah. So,
like, you bringing up the fact that white people got to fight at a baseball field does what exactly? What does that do? It don't change the fact that black people still got to fight at Disneyland. And the reason I bring that up, kind of piggyback off what I just said, why I kind of view the kind of Disneyland thing worse in the sense is because I'm kind of like, okay, so, like, black people are fully aware of the country we live in, of the system that runs this country. We know that the system is not necessarily geared toward our favor. So, why are y'all fighting out in Disneyland? Why are y'all putting yourself in a position where y'all could get messed up by that unjust system that y'all probably be complaining about at the same time? It's just that I just don't understand, like, we know the society around us, we know the environment around us. Based on that video, we saw the white people looking at all the black people fighting in Disneyland. How much you want to bet some of them white people like, look at them coons, you know, out there fighting. Like, look at them niggas out there fighting and whatnot. You know, I'm sorry, like. No, I'm not saying all the white people that were spectating were probably thinking of it, but I'm not finna sit here and say none of them were thinking it. So it's kind of just like, so you know the society that we live around, you know that, you know, the system that we live in, you know, they will put us in jail for a whole lot more quicker than they would our white counterparts and whatnot. And you know, the way that media is going to take that junk, we already know how media is going to take that. We already know. Yeah. Look at these thugs fighting out in Disneyland, making the kids cry, upsetting Goofy. You know, it's just...
They didn't put enough memes about Goofy, like Goofy watching the fight go down, all this kind of stuff.
That's and you know, it's those situations like that, and I really just be like, okay, why we keep putting ourselves in these positions to get messed up by the very society that we live in that we know is not made for us? So that's why I viewed the Disneyland fight worse. Like, cause it's just like, bro, y'all know better. Know better.
Yeah. It's really like watching your own family, like, you know, looking at two different families, one's your own and one's your friends, and you see your, you know, siblings in your friend's family get to scrapping. You know, the parents like, oh man, you know, they doing their own way. Usually it's like, man, look at that family. But in the moment your family starts acting a fool, you feel
hella embarrassed about it.
You're just like,
sorry.
No, it's my family.
But I can even use this in an example to further prove my point. So you know how you know, we all in Greek life, right? How do we feel when another organization get caught up doing something, and then when it's our own organization?
Oh, we get up in arms.
Exactly.
But I think we all. Wow. What's up in the rough? Thank you all for watching. It's been another great week. You know, I'm missing some co-host here. Is that sweat on my forehead? That's crazy.
Yes, it is.
Get off the stage. Boo!
Wow. Y'all just gonna leave me here by myself and kicking me off. That's crazy.
Wait. What's up, everybody? You feel me? It's the cool ones, part of the podcast. You feel what I'm saying?
Man, y'all know I'm the realest, coolest month on the show. I'm just kidding.
But no, if you're watching this, we just like to say thank you for your continued support of In the Rough. It's been a pleasure doing this. It's been a pleasure having all these intellectual conversations with you all, and of course my two special co-hosts with me. So you're probably wondering why we're here. We're here to talk to you. Actually, yeah, you looking right there in the camera. I'm speaking right to you. You on YouTube. I know you're on YouTube because that's the only way you can view this podcast. So you want to know what you can do while you're on YouTube.
What can you do, Wolf?
Well, first of all, I'm gonna need you to create an account so you have a YouTube account.
Create an account.
Once you create that account, I'm gonna need you to go to In the Rough Studios account page. In the Rough Studios. You'll see it. It'll look like this little logo right here in the back like that. You feel me? Once you find that, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that little button that has a bell and it says subscribe next to it. Ding. Once you press that bell, you will get all notifications, all updates of what's going on the channel. We wouldn't want y'all to miss anything. Before we head out, we just want to say, make sure you subscribe to In the Rough. And also, thank you for watching. This has been Wolfgang.
This is Omari the Smith. And as always, if you got comments, put it in the comment section below.
This is Trayvon.
In the studio, In the Rough Studios. Wow, I messed that up. It's crazy though. It's a good thing. This is just an ending. Email intheroughstudios@gmail.com. If you have a topic you would like us to talk about, send it to that email. If you have our personal information, you can easily find us all on social media. I'm sure once Omar makes this video, he'll put it right there in there for you.
It's true. So, they'll be there.
You'll be straight. But other than that, it's been great, y'all. Y'all be blessed. Don't forget to subscribe.
Peace.
Don't go.